Hey guys, it's Tosh and Gary, Skyways to Highways. Welcome to another episode in my galley kitchen. We're here at beautiful Hocking Hills campground in Ohio, and we've spent the entire weekend here at the HIKER Trailer East 3rd Annual Campout. It was a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we stayed an extra day because it's Meal Prep Monday. So before we hit the road, we're going to be making a few meals to make life on the road a little bit easier so that we don't have to stop and set up the galley kitchen and try to, throw something quick together. So just a little bit of foreplanning on the road, and you can have some pretty healthy meals. This is our first experience with this wonderful bunch of people, and I got to tell you, it was an amazing weekend. And we had so much fun, all the activities and getting to meet everyone. And Matt and Wendy DeWitt, they are wonderful, wonderful hosts, and they've put together an amazing camp out. And we're looking forward to next year already. I think there were, 49. You're like, Gary's off camera going,
49. There it is.
49 trailers here of all shapes and sizes, of all iterations of the HIKER trailer existence, since it's been in business. So it was really nice to see all of those trailers and everything else. But getting back to this, we had a lot of questions about our galley and how we cook as a vegan and carnivore family in this little trailer, and the galley kitchen and how we have it set up and what we create in here. So I think we're going to spend today's episode going over our galley and what we're going to be cooking. We're going to be cooking 2 different meals in portion sizes, and we're going to be setting those up. So we're going to show you our galley, and then you're going to cook a few things with us. So. Okay guys, so this is our galley kitchen, and we've made it pretty efficient to cook on the road. I pretty much have everything that I normally have in my own kitchen at home, with a few exceptions, and we had to find a way around a few things. But yeah, so this is the galley itself. This is what I like to call my speed rack. I have everything on here, my cutlery, I have my paring knives and scissors. I've got a pouch for salt and pepper and the dish scrubbers. I've got paper towels and pretty much everything, even my little garbage. And my oven mitts here and some extra linens down here to clean with. Down below is where we normally store all of our bins, and we have 3 bins that go into this area. And 1 bin is for canned goods, which actually we don't use cans, we use boxed goods. So, boxed tomatoes, boxed beans, dried pasta, rices, and stuff like that. And we have our paper supplies in here as well. And, miscellaneous things that we're going to need, and they're in bulk. So we just throw them in the bins down here at the bottom. We have a little prep table here. And we've got our bar in the corner over here, which is fully stocked. And coffee supplies, and our little tea kettle up here. And over here we've got some, bulk items in these wonderful little IKEA containers. Lentils and brown rice, pasta, and all of that stuff. And we have, most of our stuff is collapsible, which makes it, easier on the road. So like, colanders and bowls that just, collapse out and fold flat. So that's always handy. And then we've got our dishes and our refrigerator over here, which I'll show you in a little bit because that thing's a workhorse. It's pretty amazing. But here's my kitchen table. And in here I have 2 buckets, one for washing dishes, one for rinsing dishes. And then I have another collapsible drain to dry dishes. And then this is key. which comes equipped on the mid-range XL, is to have a water supply. So we have 22 gallons of water, which is amazing because it makes meal prep that much easier. You know, we also can use that for the shower or anything else. So I have my cutting board with all my vegetables over here. I have my 2-burner stove, which is a cook partner, and we'll show you that in a little bit as soon as we get going on the cooking. And this thing is amazing. Absolutely love it. And my favorite tool that I've been using on this trip is my scuttle. It's pretty incredible. You'll see that as soon as we start cooking as well. But this Tembo Test scuttle is just clutch. It's absolutely amazing. And I use it pretty much for everything because I can just simply use this one pan. I don't have to swap out multiple pans. I can put everything on here in the scuttle and cook up an entire meal. So it's fantastic. And we have a little herb garden over here, Myrtle, which I have about 11 different herbs in this pot. All my rosemary, my thymes. I have 2 different types of thyme, basil and chives, marjoram, and so it's pretty fantastic. So I use that to snip for fresh, a little bit of freshness, a little bit of pop and green in all of our meals. And today we're going to be making an Asian take on a kung pao chicken, and the other dish I think we'll probably do a little bit of Italian pasta. So I'm just mixing up my marinade ingredients, which I'll leave in the comments, but it's oyster sauce, some tamari, a little rooster, sriracha sauce, some date syrup. I think I mentioned sesame oil, and this is going to be my tofu marinade, and it's also going to go in the to glaze the cauliflower after it's fried. And again, I kind of like my tofu a little bit chunky for this dish. You know, it doesn't have to be giant chunks, but I like it a little chunky, so we'll go with this size. And these will get marinated, and then we will saute these. Okay, get those nice and coated and they're ready to go in a few minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to start the pasta. And my rice is already done, which Gary is the rice master in this household, so he made some great brown rice. It's nice and fluffy. So we're going to be using that for the stir fry. And the pasta is going in the Italian pasta salad that I'm going to be making in a few minutes. Okay, so my water has come up to boil, and I'm just going to add my fusilli pasta. I don't need to tell you how to make pasta. You already know. It's just you put the dry pasta in the boiling water. That's it.
But I bought the fancy stuff.
You bought the fancy stuff, which is funny. Stonewall Kitchen. We found this in, was it Utah?
It might have been Utah that we found it there.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Stonewall Kitchen, you know, we remember when it was just a teeny little shop in New York.
Now it's a big...
And now it's all over the place. It's national.
Big warehouse. Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously it's national.
Yeah, you know, I want to say that I've seen it somewhere on a layover, like in Paris or London or something.
But yeah, their products are around, all around now. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just add a little salt to my water, just to flavor it just a little bit. Lid back on, and it's a little high, so I'm gonna just turn it down just a bit.
How long did it take to cook?
Until it's done.
Well, I know the different type of pasta that we use that we don't normally.
Yeah, we don't normally. Gary seems to like this shape, the fusilli, and I call it the pasta salad pasta, because I never see fusilli used in anything other than pasta salads.
Well, then maybe it should be.
Well, then you come up with something else that you can do with it. You guys have any other ideas for the fusilli pasta shape? You know, and I know pasta's pasta, you know, it's just the shape.
You put meatballs on it, you put sausages on it.
Nobody does that with fusilli. Farfalle, yes.
You can.
Rigatoni, sure. Penne, sure. Farfalle, I've only seen it with pasta salads. So, for lack of better inspiration, that's what I'm making, a pasta salad.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to just let this boil away for about 8 minutes, maybe a little bit less. And then I'll check it again. Wait, have a sip of my cocktail. Okay, so it looks like our pasta's ready, so I'm gonna grab my oven mitts. And we're just gonna drain the pasta. And just a shot of cold water to stop the pasta from overcooking. And we'll let it sit over here for a few minutes. Next, I'm going to get started on the Asian dish that I'm making. I'm going to get my scuttle fired up and ready to go. And we'll start sauteing some vegetables. Look at that! Haha! Alright, so we're gonna start the scuttle. Light it up. And we're gonna begin with the onions, the garlic, the cabbage, and the cauliflower, because those are the ones that are gonna take a little bit longer than, you know, the softer vegetables. So we'll start with that. I'm going to add a little oil to my scuttle. If you don't have one of these, this thing is great on the road. Really simple, so you don't have to keep pouring stuff from jugs. This works very well. Scuttle heats up really, really quick, so you don't necessarily have to wait for, you know, like you would normally at home. It's pretty fast. So it's pretty much ready to go. So onions, carrots, cabbage, So there's definitely a learning curve with the scuttle. You kind of have to figure out where your center most point is, where the burner itself, the flame itself is. And it varies depending on, when you set it up. So once you figure out where your hot spot is, you can avoid burning everything, because I think that was probably one of the biggest complaints that I heard this weekend from people that came over and viewed our trailer and wanted to ask about this. And I think most people said that, when they've tried it, or when they know someone that have tried it, they always burnt their food. And it's just a matter of knowing where your hottest point is on this. And it is a little bit of a learning curve, but just keep everything moving and you'll be fine. So as these cook, as they are closer to being done, then I'll move them to the side and I'll add more vegetables. And the sides, they stay pretty warm. You can even touch the sides if you want. So it doesn't continue the cooking process, but it at least just keeps everything, warm and at a nice temperature. And you can see how quickly this is cooking. I mean, I've already got caramelization on the onions, so this is going to be really fast. So next I'm adding my cauliflower that I've trimmed up. And it looks pretty good. I had to trim off a few pieces here and there. The car refrigerator, gets a lot more condensation than your refrigerator at home, and cauliflower doesn't quite like that. So I had to trim a little bit more than I would normally, but no harm. No need to toss it away. It's perfectly fine. It's going to eat the same. I'm going to put all of this in here. I'm going to let all of this saute together, and then so one thing I forgot to mention is cleaning your tomates. We use this a lot, and most of the time I just scrape it and move on. But what I did not do this morning is wipe it down with a nice wet towel before I began. So as you can see, it does get a lot of sediment on it. So if you just clean this off, you have less chance of getting burn or scorch on your dish. But no big deal, it's going to taste really good anyway, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to add a little more oil. And I've already sauteed all of my vegetables, including the red peppers and the cashews went in, the daikon radish. And next I'm going to saute my beautiful marinated super firm tofu. I'll try and leave the ingredients in the show notes. It's not an official recipe. I'm literally just throwing some of my favorite flavors together. But I'll put it in the show notes, and maybe someday it'll become an official recipe. We'll see. We'll see how the husband likes this one. So I'm going to saute the tofu. I personally think getting char and brown is an additional flavor component. So I really purposely like to get some brown, especially on the tofu, because it makes it nice and crispy. So I'm going to let those sit for a little bit on one side and get really nice and brown, and then turn them over, get them brown on all sides, and then I'll mix all of this together. And then in the end, I will use the marinade for the tofu as a glaze, and then that'll just go over the whole thing, and then that'll go in the container with the rice. So we'll be back. Okay, so we're going to start the next dish, which is the Italian pasta salad, as I mentioned before. Using my trusty tempo scuttle. Let that come up to temp. Gary is my prep man at home, just like he is here on the road. So he's chopping up all of my vegetables. I'm going to be using some onion, and I've got some blue oyster mushrooms, some eggplant that I'm going to be sauteing, and the calabacitas that I was telling you about, which are just amazing, from the Jemez Farmers Market.
Red and yellow
Jemez
bell
Springs.
pepper.
Red and yellow bell pepper. We've got some celery, some parsley, and then Myrtle here is going to be lending us some beautiful fresh herbs for this dish as well. Probably some thyme, a little bit of lemon thyme, English thyme, and some rosemary and oregano, and some parsley as well. Why not? Okay, let's get started. So the scuttle is heated up. I'm going to add my oil. I'm going to start with the onions. And then I'm going with my red and yellow peppers. Gary's not keeping up with production here. I'm just too fast for you. And then we'll get started on the eggplant as well. Get that all going. This should be really quick, so I'm not going to waste too much time talking. We're just going to cook it. Okay, so I have sauteed all of the peppers. I've sauteed the eggplant and partially sauteed the cauliflower. And now I'm adding the mushrooms, the blue oyster mushrooms. Add a little more oil to that. Seems like I'm adding a lot, but like this is really a fine little spritz, so it's really not too much oil. Someday I would like to get to a point of no oil. I'm not quite there yet, but I'd like to be. So I'm going to saute these all together along with the rest of our vegetables, and then I'm going to mix all of the pasta in and dish it up, and it's a done meal. Okay, so I have sauteed the rest of my vegetables, which consist of cauliflower, eggplant, onion, red and yellow bell pepper, some olives, Mediterranean olives, some garlic, and also blue oyster mushrooms. And the last part of this is going to be that beautiful calabacita squash that I purchased at the farmer's market, and some cannellini beans. So I'm actually going to turn off my heat now, and I'm going to just be mixing this all together with the pasta just to get everything, you know, all of the flavors incorporated. And then I'll just be putting these in containers, and this will be ready whenever we're ready to have a nice meal. I have to tell you that I wish I had some pine nuts. I think pine nuts would be lovely in this. And then last but not leastly, I'm going to add some fresh herbs from Myrtle here.
I'm sure glad Tasha likes to cook. That's all I ever see her do. Well, we're taking off.
I love it.
And
Oh, you are?
Oh, you are. Like every other Saturday in the wintertime there. And it's really, really cool. It draws a lot of people. But our neighbors were going, and they ran into her as she was coming out the door. And they go, oh, go with us. And she goes, no, I don't want to go with you. You know, I've got a lot of stuff I got to do. I'll just yeah, well, they talked her into it. And then I saw him when I got back, and I said, so, she told you.
I tried to warn them.
She knew everybody there. You know.
So we had some fellow campers, fellow hiker trailer people stop by, and they're leaving. It looks like we're going to be the last people here at Hiker Trailer East Camp Out 3rd Annual. We're okay with that. We'll take that. So I'm just finishing up here. I'm going to put the last of the pasta salad in our container, and we are set for the rest of the week, at least the next 5 days with all of this. And I don't have to cook if I don't want to, which is kind of nice. You know, we'll probably have a couple of long driving days to get to where we're going, to our next destination, which has yet to be determined. But yeah, that's it. This is the way we meal prep on the road. And I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we've had fun recording it for you. Yeah, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again on the next episode of Skyways to Highways.
3.
Oh
Good.
yeah, last thing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more content like this. We really enjoy all of this, and we hope you enjoy it too. So we'll see you on the next episode. That is good. You guys, this is actually really good. That today. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Was it like that the whole time, Ben?
Yes, it was. I just noticed.
Okay, you're the director.
I'm
You're
sorry, the
supposed to see
sun's in
these
my
things.
eyes too.
So let's start over.
Okay. Go,
We're just gonna go. Am I done?
Done. Yep, we're good.
Okay. Hey guys.